Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and today we have my review of the third Die Hard movie, which is Die Hard with a Vengeance, of course starring Bruce Willis, Jeremy Irons and Samuel L. Jackson. Now obviously I love the first Die Hard, I mean who doesn't? It's an iconic film, one of the best, if not the best action film ever made, and I didn't like the second one too much. Like, it's not unwatchable by any means, but it's just not great. But thankfully John McTieran, who directed the first one, came back to direct this one, and just as he did with the original, he made a badass film. These films are some of the most badass films I've ever seen. The first one, probably the most, and there will be spoilers in this video. In truth, I saw Chris Stuckman's review of this film the other day, and I wanted to go watch it myself and review it myself, and that's what I've done. And unfortunately, I don't have much of my own to add to what a lot of people have said, because I agree with pretty much everything about this film that everyone said. I think it's a great movie. It's not on the same level of the first one for me. As I said, I do love it, but I do have problems with it. To me, the last 10 minutes is the main stuff. Like, John goes outside in a shootout with Simon while he's in the helicopter, and it feels like it's out of a totally different film. I don't know why it's there. I think there was another ending. I think I learned that in Chris Stuckman's video, but yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't great. It felt very out of place and not in this film. It didn't belong in this film. Like, it's not majorly bad. I mean, it's not like a good scene either. Like, it feels like something you'd see in an advert on TV, but it just doesn't work. Also, when we have Simon taking the gold, it slows down for me, and I don't know why, because I actually really enjoy it. Like, this film is 2 hours long, and it's paced really well. I think it's pretty fast paced, but for some reason that middle bit just is slow for me while we are away from John and Zeus, and I don't know why, because I don't dislike it at all. It's really strange to me, so I don't know if I really count it as a flaw, because I don't dislike watching it. I don't want to skip over it, but yeah, I think maybe just being invested in the time with John and Zeus, and then having Simon taking the gold and not being able to see those two, just was slowing the film down for me, but it's really not much of an issue. But as I said, the film's paced really well, and that's really all my flaws. So really, the only flaw I have is the last 10 minutes. This film's great. We are thrown right into the action of the film. It is extremely fast paced, and that's something I really love about it. When we see John, he's getting ready to do the first task, and that's the first scene we see him in. And when we see John, he's getting ready to do the first task that was set by Simon, and we just saw this massive explosion in the street, and Bruce Willis is obviously great as John McClane. He is John McClane, and then Samuel L. Jackson is great as Zeus as well. He's not just any side character, he's actually a character. He's important, he's vital to the plot. He feels real, he feels like it's in this world, and yeah, it's great. But this film is another reason that why I prefer practical effects and stunts to CGI. Now, as I said in my last review and the Nightmare review, I don't dislike CGI at all. I think it's pretty good, and a lot of films, like the Marvel films in general, they generally do a solid job. And there are lots of other films that make CGI look absolutely incredible. But all the stunts in this film are pretty much practical, I think. I think there's some CGI, but that's really it. I think the stunts look amazing, and it's so white-knuckled and gritty, and I love it. Jeremy Irons is obviously a great villain as well. He plays Simon. He's a very compelling villain. He's my favourite after Hans Gruber. I mean, I haven't seen the whole franchise in a while, but at least from memory, yeah. And he's just a lot of fun to watch on screen. This was the first Die Hard to not take place in like a confined space, which was a big departure from the last two films, and it was really worth the risk. It was just really white-knuckled action, very intense, one of the most intense films I've ever seen, I think. You're just constantly on the edge of your seat, except for that middle part, as I said, but it was a big change having John run around the city in this one, but as I said, I think it was worth it, and it's a very fun movie. I give Die Hard with a Vengeance an 8 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry I couldn't add much of my own mind to this film, because I really just do agree with everything I see online with this one. Normally, I'm not too scared to voice my opinions, like Batman v Superman, for example. Obviously, wasn't received amazingly. It's my favourite DCEU film. Not DC film, DCEU. Yeah, it is. I love it. But yeah, just this film not much of my own mind I can add. I agree with pretty much everyone. I mean, I think it's not got a great score on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't understand. Also, though, a brief announcement: mine and my friend's podcast is now on Spotify, which is absolutely surreal just to see it on there. Because obviously we were inspired by many other podcasters, and it's just great to see it on there. And we have a YouTube channel too, which is always on the end screen of my videos now. So if you're interested, please go and check it out. It would mean a lot to us both. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you love or hate Die Hard with a Vengeance in the comments below. Tell me if you're respectful about it with me and everyone else below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.